Welcome to the Magnetically Aligned Woman event. Walk into your power through self love, self worth, and authenticity. Today, I have Simone. She is a luxury lifestyle mentor and intuitive healer. She stands for the financial sovereignty and empowerment of all women to self actualize and fulfill their infinite potential. With several years as an entrepreneur, building a seven-figure business, finding the love of her life, and having two more miracle children, her philosophy is really about getting you out of your head, into your heart, and reclaiming the unique essence that is in you. So I am so honored to have you, Simone. Welcome.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here, and yeah, let's dive in. We've had an opportunity to chat for a little while, so I'm so excited.
I would love to, I would love for you to like share with the audience a little bit about your background, just so we know what have you gone through and what led you onto this path.
Well, for me, it was, like all of us, we have a story and we have things that we go through in our lifetime that bring us to a place where we have to wake up and realize this isn't working. So for me, I actually had this really deep wound of not worthiness, like not enoughness. And, it really led me into um, an extremely abusive relationship, violent, and it was not a good place to be. I completely lost myself. And I had a baby. So that's why I stayed, because I thought I could fix it and I thought I could make it better. And, I really had a moment where I looked in the mirror and I was like, you know what? My baby deserves more. I deserve more. I'm better than this. I'm bigger than this. I'm stronger than this. And when I really had that, it was like an energetic shift, like something in me just turned on. And when I made that decision that everything was going to change, that I was done with this and that I was worth more, everything started to change. And so I really kind of had an experience where, um, as I started to move and embody this person that is stronger, synchronicities started to happen and things were moving so that it actually ended up taking him out of the way, out of the equation for me, so that I could move on and move out of that situation. I really had a spiritual awakening and realized that there's so much more. And that's when I really got into manifestation and energy work. And it started around that time, about 16 years ago. And since then, it's just been my passion. And yeah, it's what I live for. It's what I do. So I empower and help other people to create the best life they can, and that's available to them, right? So
I love that. And I know, like you said, as soon as you made that decision, the universe moved him out of the way, or this force came and moved him out of the way. And that's something I truly believe in when we say, when you become magnetically aligned, things start falling into place for you. Can you share with can you share with us like what alignment means for you?
alignment to me is about embodiment. And so doing that inner work and knowing who you are and embodying that which you want to bring to you is what will make you magnetic, really. And I feel like, for me, as a leader and as a person who couldn't lead before, I embodied this victim so well, and that's what showed up in my life. And that was you're always in alignment. You're always in alignment. You're in alignment with what you have taken on and embodied. And that's what you're creating. So in that way, you're in alignment. Are you in alignment with the truth of who you are? No, you're in alignment with the non-truth of who you are. So it's so important to do the inner work to heal the core wounds so that you can create from a new space. And you and I were talking earlier about the fact that we're moving into a new paradigm now. And so for many, many hundreds of years, longer than that, we have been in this masculine paradigm. And this doesn't mean a bad. So masculine isn't bad and feminine is good. It just means that we were very much in a space where it's all about just do it. Strategy. How many awards? How many likes? How many people do you have following you? This is what we have been taught makes us more valuable. And so now we understand that, wait a minute, and try to fix everything, right? And now we are understanding as we move into this feminine paradigm that when we are in alignment with our inner self, what our soul has embedded and coded within us, our truest desires, they're there so that we can manifest them. And when we are in alignment with our truth, that we are a powerful, knowing, perceiving, sovereign being with free will, when we are in alignment with her inside of us or him, that inner God or goddess, and we take action from that place, the actions that we take are very different. We understand that we don't have to be in a state of doing all the time in order to get things done, but we understand that when we do the things that we do with ease and flow, that when it's coming from inside, that we will receive like massive results because it's about who we're being. It's not about what you do. There's no level of who you are being can be overridden by what you're doing. So all the stuff that you do doesn't matter. It's about who you are being as you do it, always, your state of being. And that is what alignment means to me.
I always relate this like whenever you talk about doing, right? And I go back to like the most simplest form is what we were taught kind of like in work. Let's say like you have a goal, your work, you want to be happy and you want to earn a certain amount of money. And doing is this idea that like you have to do every single day, and that was my belief. And I thought I had to work 9 hours every single day, 5 days a week, 40 hours a week to get to my goal of, okay, I want to make $50,000 a year. And if I wanted to level up from that, I would either have to work harder or I would have to like up my value, my worth as a human being through the job that I did. And so that was my mentality, and that was very much tied to the masculine energy of doing. And now shifting into the more feminine energy, what aligned with me, I said hell no to the 9 to 5. I said absolutely not. I don't want to do that anymore. And I
Yeah.
don't believe in that anymore. And that was the biggest shift. I don't believe in that anymore. I believe, I see other people who have lives, that 4 hour work week, or they just show up as dumb and they make an impact. And being of value, being of service is what generates income. And I started believing that instead. And I started doing things that aligned with that instead. So I started showing up as I want to be of value as a human being and not the input that I put into the work that I was doing. And things started happening for me.
Wow.
Um, do you have any like insights on what I just said, or like what?
Yeah, totally. Of course. I love what you just said. And I would ask you a question. How many people do you know in your life that work their ass off, are super rich?
Just my parents, to be honest.
Not many though, right? It's like some people have this, and don't get me wrong, you can absolutely hustle your way into riches, 100%. But does it feel good? Do you get to enjoy them? What is your quality of life? It's very different. than the person who says, oh my God, I'm just going to do what I love. I'm going to do what feels good. And I'm going to get paid for it. I'm going to show up and be a strong leader and be a person who embodies, not just tells you stuff. Again, we talked a little bit about that earlier too. Like it's not just about, I'm going to tell you how the steps are. So do you see out on the internet how many times you can email anything, or email, you can Google anything and delete that. You can Google anything, any information will come up. If you want to know the 7 steps to manifest the man of your dreams, here they are. If you want to know the 5 steps to make $1,000,000, here they are. But the problem is that when you are looking at those steps, those tried and true, they worked for that person steps, if those steps aren't in alignment with you and what makes you feel good and what resonates with you and aligns with your end result, your core purpose, then those steps are not going to work for you. That's why I say there's no manner of doing that can override who you're being. You must do with what is in alignment with you. And so doing all the steps and doing all the things and working really hard and being stuck in the strategy of it all, again, absolutely, you can be in that and you can reach a level of success, but you will not have the same level of fulfillment when you get there. Right. And I'll tell you this. So for me, I did build a 7-figure company, not in this business. I was doing what I do, but I was doing it sales, coaching, and marketing. And then I created a product that, whatever, and built this company. But this was not who I came here to be. This was not what I came here to do. And I actually got the universal slap upside the head saying, hello, stop it, because this isn't what you're meant to do. And my partner took the business. He's just like screwed me out of it. So whatever. And yes, we have a lawyer. But at the end of the day, I had already embodied that version of me that knows how to create money, but I wasn't following my heart in how I wanted to create that money. So I was already embodying the version of me that knew how to create money. But I wanted to create sustaining. It's not about manifesting money, it's about creating wealth. And wealth comes from embodying the energy of wealth, meaning that what version of you, like what does the wealthy version of you do? Right? We go in this thing about, well, if I do the stuff, then I'll be the person and I'll have the stuff. Or if I do this stuff, then I'll have the stuff and then I'll be happy or I'll be that person. No, you must be that version of you. And then when you're being that as that version of you, you will be guided in a certain way to take aligned action that feels good, that creates the result of the having of the thing.
It's a backwards. It's
Yeah.
like a backwards response because this is the trap that I got caught in. I knew all the strategies of making money. Like I took tons and tons of courses, affiliate marketing, Amazon drop shipping, you name it. I was like, I'm
Making money.
I'm going to make money. I always had this like inner feeling that I was meant to do something more. Like that was always there, right? But as I was trying all these different things, I tried God like 4, 5, 6 different career paths and nothing worked. And then I
Why?
got stuck in that. I got stuck and I didn't understand. I said, I know the strategies, but why is it not working for me? Right? Like, and then I hit rock bottom. I hit rock bottom because I had tied so much of my self worth, of like that striving for achievement, because I thought if I do the process, then I will be happy. If I do the process, then I will make money and then I will be happy getting that, reaching that end goal. And nothing worked. And that's why like I hit that rock bottom and I was like, maybe this isn't it. Like maybe I'm not meant for this entrepreneurial journey. Maybe I'm not meant to be wealthy. Maybe I have to go back to a 9 to 5. And I started searching online for jobs and it just didn't feel right. I was like, I don't want to do this. Like that like I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this.
Yeah, and that's so, can I just tell you, every single entrepreneur goes through this where we are ready to give up. And for those of you who are women who have given birth, how many times when you were in labor, and especially if you didn't have an epidural, where you were like, I am done. This hurts too much. It's too hard. I'm done. I'm done. I can't do it anymore. But then you have the baby and you see the baby and you say, oh my God, it was so worth it. It was so worth it. Right. And this is the thing, we hit the rock bottom and then we start to self-doubt, and energetically, by the way, we all have an electromagnetic signature that we're broadcasting into the quantum field and into the universe. And law of attraction is, it's going to connect like to like, but it's about way before the law of attraction. It's about really where you are in that moment and what are you feeling in that moment, and honoring what you feel in that moment, and knowing that, okay, I tried all this stuff and it didn't work. So is it because I'm not worthy? Because really what you do already know is that you were born worthy and nothing has changed. Your programming and all of this outside stuff tried to show you and teach you that you weren't worthy or that you couldn't do it. And even in the condition that you're in right now, or the circumstance that you're in right now, is showing you that you're not worthy. It's not that you're not worthy, it's just that way wasn't the way for you. So where can you say, what's right for me? When you can stop looking at social media and all the other people and all the ways that they did it and all the stuff that they did, and start to really tap into your own gifts and your own feelings and your own whatever lights you up, and say, you know what, I actually, it would just really feel good to do it this way. Maybe instead of running around trying to create Facebook ads and spending all my money and being broke as a joke, maybe I could learn a different way. Maybe. And when that happens, then guess what happens? The universe moves things to match what you are requesting and saying, maybe there's a different way. And then you'll be shown a different way. And then you go, oh, this way feels good. I like this. Here we are, Nikki. You and I are doing these events that we do because we're not aligned with like, let's work our asses off and hustle and spend $50,000 a month on Facebook ads. No. Why don't we put together a beautiful event that empowers tons of people, gives a ton of value, and whether or not they end up working with us is not the point. The point is that we've done our job. We've raised our vibration. We've expanded our community. We've expanded our reach. We've expanded our impact. And that feels good. Right? So it's like, you're sitting there going, this just doesn't feel right. And then a new way is shown to you. And when you act on that new way that feels good, then something good happens and bigger things happen, and then you take the next step, and then you expand, and then you take the next step, and then you expand, and then you're like, holy shit, why didn't I do this all the time? Why didn't I do this the whole way? But you're doing it now, and that's all that matters. And even if you're not there yet, even if you're at rock bottom going, oh my God, I've done everything, I've done all this strategy, I've done everything, I want you to sit with yourself for a moment and ask yourself, but did all those things feel good? Did all those things feel like really in alignment with me and what I wanted to create? Or did they feel like those were the things that you have to do? I'm going to tell you, it's not always easy. You don't just say, oh, I'm not going to do it unless it feels good, unless it's like, no, you're going to do it no matter what, but you're going to do the thing that feels right. It doesn't always have to be easy. So Nikki and I were talking earlier about, she said, I couldn't believe, I'm working out, and as I'm getting stronger, I see how powerful the human body is. And our evolution is really about building the muscle. Because if I went to the gym and picked up a 500-pound weight, and I've never done that before, there's no way I could do that. It would be so hard. But if I did the steps and I built myself up and I built myself up and I built myself up, then guess what? Picking up a 500-pound weight wouldn't be hard. Maybe 500 would always be hard, but maybe let's say 100 pounds. So, but it wouldn't be hard because I now have built that muscle. And so now it no longer seems hard. It no longer seems hard for me to show up for myself. It's not hard anymore for me to just be who I came here to be. When I'm trying to be something I'm not, when I'm trying to do the things that other people are telling me to do that literally don't feel good, I don't know how to do it. And then, okay, I figured out the how, but I don't know. I don't really want to do it that way. Then don't. Listen to your heart and say, what, show me a better way. Show me a better way. And the universe will listen. And I want you to really understand too that your ego is not this demon that is bringing you down and holding your back or holding you back. Your ego actually has your back to the point that it is like the genie that is granting you your wishes. The ego is this part of you that knows that you have free will, and what you believe and what you say that you want by your actions and your beliefs and your behaviors, then your ego is writing that down. Like I said to Nikki earlier, it's like the little stenographer in the courthouse writing everything down, sending it up to the upstairs to the source energy. And source says, but I love you so much that I have to give you everything that you're asking me for. And so therefore, when you say that all the good men are taken or the business is hard, then I'm going to show you all the bad men, and I'm going to show you how hard business can be. But if you ask empowering questions like, how can this be easier for me? How can this be better for me? How can this be more fun for me? How can this be more aligned for me? Then you start to get the answers. You start to receive the synchronicities, but you have to embody that energy. And when this whole thing is about being in alignment and becoming magnetic, being in alignment with your heart and your truth is what will make you magnetic. Not being like her with the nicer branding, not being like this person with the fancy website, not being this person over here that creates this, incredible, crazy $1 million business because of the way that they are. They're doing that because that's who they are. That's not who you are. So if you can just be you, that's all you need to do. You were born worthy. Nothing has changed. You were meant to come here and be you and express your message and your gifts. And when you get to the end of your life, to look at your life and say, that was a masterpiece. That was amazing. I'm so glad that I came. Instead of, oh my God, I never said yes to what was inside of me. I always pushed it down, or I did what the other people told me that I should be doing instead. No, listen to yourself. Being in alignment means listening to yourself. Sometimes it's hard, yes. Being in alignment doesn't mean everything's easy, but it means that it feels right, that this is the right move for me. And yes, it might be hard in a way that I've got to push through. We have, like I said, we have circumstantial power and we have personal power. When we're in circumstantial power, it means that as long as everything outside of us is the way that I want it to be, then good. Then I'll do that and I'll be that and I'll have that. Fine. But that's not your personal power. Your personal power means that when I am in my personal power and I'm saying yes to what's inside of me, and it might be scary and it might make me feel like I'm going to vomit, but I'm going to do it because I'm like, oh my God, yes, then you do it. If it feels like, oh, I do not want to do that, not because I don't think I can. Again, we talked about this earlier. Are you playing to win or are you playing not to lose? Very different energy. Are you going all in Or are you going in just to the point where you won't lose, that you'll get that goal, but you won't lose? You'll get the goal. But is the goal like if you could just dream up or imagine everything that you've ever desired or wanted and it's way up here and you just go for it and you play to win it and you might fall down on your ass, but that's okay, because if you're in a video game, for example, and you die on that level and then you start again, you know what's coming, so you go, I'm going to take a different route. And it's the same thing. We fail, we fall, and we go, that thing didn't work that way. Let's take a different route. I am not going to step on that same banana and fall again. Right? I'm going to take it this way. And that's what happens. And then you get to the next level and the next level and the next level.
That's very insightful, and something so important that you brought up is it's not always going to be easy. I had mentioned earlier, like when you are aligned with your vision, the challenges that are presented, there's more courage. Like there is this knowing, like I have to do this, or I am going to do this regardless of what happens,
Yeah.
and going for it, instead of allowing the doubt to steer you in a different direction, instead of allowing that doubt to say like maybe this isn't meant for me, I should do something different, and that cycle just keeps repeating itself.
Yeah.
Instead, it's I know what I want, and I know how I want to feel how I want to show up as I'm doing whatever it is that I'm doing and reaching that vision.
Yeah.
No matter how hard it is, I'm still going to show up. I'm
Yes.
still going to do it. Um, there was something I wanted to ask you, because you said like you are a huge advocate of financial sovereignty, right? Like, what does that even mean?
Financial sovereignty is something I am extremely passionate about, because when we understand that we are sovereign beings, okay, we have sovereignty over our body, we have sovereignty over, the decisions that we make and the choices that we have. Financial sovereignty is about you knowing that you are not governed by the government, by the economy, by asking your husband or your wife for permission, by like you are financially sovereign, that you are absolutely able, willing, and ready to receive everything that is meant for you through the way that is aligned with you and your message and your purpose and your gift. It is not about what anyone else says you can or cannot do, be, or have, right? It's not about any of that business. It's not about that anything else is your source. Source is your source, and you are source. You are your source. Nothing outside of you is your source of money. Money is money is feminine energy. Money flows, money moves. Money loves to be seduced. Money loves to be appreciated. Money loves to be called in. And money is so beautiful to have, because what does money bring you? There's so much coding around money, so much coding around money. But money is truly uh, this beautiful tool that helps you to live and experience incredible things, to buy the best food, to travel and see the most beautiful things, but also to make a huge impact. Like I was saying to you earlier, Nikki, Mother Teresa was not some poor person. She had millions, billions behind her. And so that she was able to make that level of impact. And this is what I'm telling you, that we live in this world where it does take money to have impact and to have growth and to, experience a lot of really amazing things. But it's really about what is your, for some people, we desire to have, I desire to drive the car that I want to drive. I desire to live in the house that I want to live in. I desire to wear the clothes that I want to wear because I desire it, not because I need something outside of me to validate me and make it, so that I'm valid or that I'm worthy. It's just what I desire. But other people, they desire a life where they, I have a friend, I have a friend who literally is running across the world in bare feet right now. His desire is to be in nature and to live on the ocean and to experience whatever. But you know what? Even that takes money, but a
Mhm.
certain level of money. So it's really what it is that you want to experience and the level of impact that you want to create. And what is it that your soul desires? There's nothing wrong with it, right? So financial sovereignty is just about you knowing that you are your source and nothing outside of you can dictate that. You do not need to ask permission to be, do, or have anything in this lifetime. And you know what? This is why I said to you earlier, I'm doing this program, the Divine Alpha. And then right after it, I'm doing a program called Becoming Magic, because the Divine Alpha is really about tuning into that inner being, doing all this stuff on the inside so that everything that you do outside becomes magic. When you are out here trying to hustle and run around and do all the shit and manifest and take the steps to manifest, you're always manifesting, by the way. But when we're trying to do it this way and we're saying our affirmations and we're making vision boards and we're doing all this stuff and it's not working, it's because you're not in alignment. You're not doing the things that are in alignment with your being. And so you will never have the results. So I don't care how many people are posting the steps to make this much or manifest this thing.
Mhm.
It does not work if you are not in alignment with you and you are not this magnetic force. All you have to do is be that version of you, embody that version of you that has this beautiful business, that has this loving relationship. Embody that. You are looking for the feeling that that thing will give you. And if you can give yourself that feeling in this moment right now, which yes, you can because it's an emotion, then do that. And I will tell you that your vibrational frequency, your vibration, which is the vibration is the amount of times that each cell in your body or that your energy is going around in a little circle. And then it's putting out a resonance, which is the frequency. So, in order for you to change your vibrational set point, then you must give yourself those feelings so that you can experience and embody those feelings now. And one of the things that I love to say to people is try this out. Set an alarm for once every hour for your phone to have a little alarm that goes off. And in that hour, you must give yourself a feeling of love, if that's what you need, a feeling of abundance, a feeling of wealth, a feeling of joy. Give yourself that feeling in that moment. Just feel it. It's available to you in this moment. And your set point, your vibrational set point will change. And then your frequency will change. Your frequency is that electromagnetic signature that you are broadcasting out into the universe that is bringing back whatever is matched to you. So if you want to be magnetic to what it is that you truly desire, then embody what it is that you truly desire. You want to feel abundant, then feel abundant. You want to feel love, then feel love. It's all about who you are, not what you do.
I am so drawn to the way that you speak because there is so much truth behind it. And just to recap from my own perspective, what I heard was that you chasing or doing is really for that feeling at the desire that you want to create, but not embodying the desire in this moment. It's not, those strategies are not going to work for you. So to really shift your reality is believing, embodying, and doing what you actually believe, that feeling you wanted to create in the first place. So if you wanted to create happiness, you embody happiness in this very moment.
Mhm.
If you wanted to embody wealth, that feeling of wealth, it's not about doing to get wealth. It's embodying that you are wealthy in this very moment and taking aligned action to make your vision happen,
Mhm. No matter what your circumstances are.
no matter what your circumstances are. And we get this, I get this so often because this is like a deeply, deeply conditioned for a lot of people and for me myself is this excuse that because I don't have in this very moment,
Yeah.
that I can't, and that word I can't, but switching that into I am worthy, I am deserving, and believing that I am going to attract everything that I want to create in this lifetime.
Mhm.
Magic has happened. Literally, magic has happened
Yes, and
because
it will continue to happen. And here's the other thing that I just want to say quickly. This other very important piece is that when we look at all of the people around us that are creating magic and money and goodness, and we're triggered, you got to heal that shit. Okay, you've got to heal it, because I want you to look at the people who are inspiring to inspire you, not to trigger you, but to inspire you, because I want you to know that if she can do it or he can do it, you can do it, no matter what your circumstances are. Because I came from a very abusive situation where I was physically, mentally, emotionally abused. And I rose up to the point where I have a partner that I've been with for 10 years now, over 10 years, actually, almost 12 years, and he adores me. I adore him. We are best friends. We have this incredible, loving relationship. We had two babies that the doctors said we could not have together. I have my older son, who is an absolute doll and really needed a beautiful person to be his dad. And we got that, because we chose that. And it's like, you can create anything no matter what your circumstances are, no matter where you're at. I know a million different stories I've heard about. This homeless person is now, actually, there's a guy, Travis, I can't remember his last name. He owns a company called Inner Light Media, and he was homeless, black guy, homeless on the streets in a very tough city. And he is now a multimillionaire, and he creates all of the social media for Jay Shetty and just like huge big names in the industry, right? So I'm just like, it does not matter what your story is. It matters that you listen to your inner being and that you rise to the top. And I'm telling you now, with everything that is going on this planet, I cannot stress how important this is for each and every one of us to rise and become who we have always been. All the shit that we pick up along the way, when we say we need healing or we've got trauma, we all have it. This is not because you're broken. There's nothing wrong with you. This is just distortion, programming, bullshit that you have picked up along the way, and you need to put it back down. You need to let it go so that you can clear and be open to receive all the amazingness that is meant to come to you. So it's imperative for humanity right now that we stand up, that we stand for our rights, that we stand in our power, that we are shifting consciousnesses here. We're going from the consciousness of fear that has been permeating us for thousands of years, and this is how we have been enslaved, whether we know it or we don't. We have been, and moving into this new consciousness of love. People are talking about 3D. Oh, I can't wait to step into that, or 3D, 5D. I can't wait to step into that beautiful new 5D energy. It's just like so awesome. And you know what? Nobody's stepping into anything if you're in duality. If you are in this place of fear, and then you're like, sometimes you're going to be in a place of love, like, no, we're shifting consciousness. The earth itself, I told you earlier, Nikki, you and I were talking, the earth itself is shifting her vibrational frequency from, what is it, 7 point something hertz to now between 15 and 25 hertz. So the vibration of the planet is different. The plasma light that is now streaming in through the electromagnetic shield that the earth has always had, there are cracks in it, which is fantastic, because now it is bringing in this plasma light that is literally upgrading your DNA. There has never been a more powerful, important time for us to stand up, for us to rise, and for us to actually to achieve heaven on this earth. It's now. The time is now to rise.
Yes, and everyone is worthy, and that's like the main thing is
Yeah.
knowing that you are worthy and you have enough to do what your biggest vision is out there.
Yes.
Amazing. And I know we touched on so many topics today, but I wanted you to share like a freebie where people can actually connect with you
Yeah.
and get a little bit of insight on what you do.
Yeah. So, I mean, you can always go to my website. It's simonehodgins.com, and you can see what I'm about there. But also, I have a free gift. I just recently did a master class, and it's called Sovereign, and it's a powerful master class about you claiming your sovereignty and knowing the power of who you are. And I'm also going to include with that a beautiful wealth activation and healing. So that's like in a meditation format. Okay, so I'm also going to include that with that. So yeah, you can take advantage of that and enjoy that. And if you want to connect with me further, go to my website.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Simone. And for everybody who is watching, I will link her freebie below so that you have access to it. And thank you for your generosity in throwing in that meditation.
Yeah.
Um, and yes, I am beyond delighted to have you for sharing all your wisdom with us. For everyone else who is watching today, I cannot wait to see you guys on the next episode. Bye for now.
Thank you.